Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdoms. In today's episode, we are going to be building a temple for our Roman kingdom, for Regnum, and I think it's going to be amazing. Now, originally, I had planned to have a temple here in this little plot, and then also here. No. Wait, here. Yeah, here and here. I think I'm going to change it up, and I'm going to put one of the temples right here, because I think that's a good place for it. And then we'll probably put the other one over here, so they're kind of counterbalanced, if you will, with the forum here in the middle. So let's kind of get into it. Let's start putting down some blocks and see what we can come up with. I think the first thing I need to do is get rid of all this grass that is in our way. But we have a very nice flat area here to work with, so I think it'll work out pretty well. Also, I should probably mention, there was a live stream. Fly please, thank you. Yep, there we go. There was a live stream, and during that live stream, we added 2 new houses. So we added this house over here and that house over there. And basically, the kingdom is starting to kind of come together. We're starting to fill these spaces and end up with a proper kind of city feel. And that will be made far more city-like once we start adding some extra detail to these areas. Maybe right here on this corner, we could have like a little market stall, and we'll have street lights, and we'll have, different things to kind of add interest to the area. But that's going to be one of the last things that we do once everything else is built. So anyway, without further ado, let's get back to this right here. Let's get rid of these torches so we have some space to work. There we go, right? That should be all of them that I actually need to get rid of. Now, this is actually the plot line right here. So let's just grab, just temporarily, I'm just going to grab some of this granite, and we're just going to kind of mark this out, because we don't want this temple that we're building to kind of carry over into the other plot. That's just a little silly. So let's see. Now, this is also the forum, and I'm kind of thinking we want this temple, like, right up against this road. And then the nice thing about that is it'll actually give us more space to work with over there, because the temple is going to be kind of a rectangle where it'll be longer on one side than the other. It's going to be kind of a Greek, Greco-Roman style temple. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the style, but I'm going to kind of put my own little spin on it, because we're not using, normally when I'm building a temple like this, I would use like quartz and very light-colored blocks. However, we're not doing that. We're not using quartz in this area. We're going to be using our regular block palettes. So I think it should be pretty interesting once it's all said and done. And the entrance will be right here on the forum. So I think that'll work out really well. Okay, so let's start putting down some blocks. I think what we'll need to do, first and foremost, is mark out some pillars. So let's start, say, right here, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. We're gonna scoot them over 1 block just so we can fit the whole thing, because I want 7 pillars. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that will be right there. The extent, you can tell it's gonna almost take up this whole thing. Then we're gonna mark out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so our temple is basically gonna fit within this space right here. Okay? And it'll be right up against the forum like this. I think that'll work out really well. Okay, so now we're going to knock out this pillar right here, and we're going to grab a bunch of polished granite. And with that, we're going to basically make a box on the outside, or on the inside, I should say, of those little pillar spots that we just marked out. So the whole temple will be about this big, and I think that's a good size for it. Now, I don't think any of these areas are going to be spawnable, but we are going to put down some torches just to be on the safe side, because I am going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to do this and fill it in this way instead of like putting down another layer of blocks here. So we'll have some air pockets, which is okay. Let me get this all filled in, and I'll come back to you. All right, guys, I am back. So I've got the base all filled in, and I also went ahead and brought the pillars up to 5 high. We've got a nice little half slab staircase right here. I think that works out really well, or a slab staircase. I don't know why half slab became a thing that we Minecraft people say, but for some reason it did. Either way, I'm going to need a lot of nether brick stairs. I'm going to need a whole bunch of them, and we're going to do that part next. So basically, on the base of all of these pillars, I'm going to put down a nether brick stair. And actually, we can go ahead and get rid of that border as well. I don't need it. Let's see, we're right here. So we're going to put stairs all along like so. And then we're going to go back the opposite the opposite direction. Please don't get caught in the thing. Right? All the way around until we have the whole base. And then last but not least, we're also going to put a little foot, if you will, on each of these pillars. So basically, everywhere where we can, we're going to put a pillar at the base, like this, on all sides, and that will give us this nice kind of sturdy structure type deal, right? So that's looking pretty good, but I don't like this transition right here. So what we're going to do there is we'll take some slabs, and we're just going to put nether brick slabs like this all around the base and on the same level as the floor. And that's just going to kind of help create some depth, create a clear line where the outside ends and the inside of the temple starts, right? So it'll look like this. And from inside, it doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty good on the inside as well. So I think that's pretty good. Now we get into the tricky part, and that is the roof. So I'm thinking we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and right here, we're going to put a pillar like that. So we're essentially mirroring what we did on the base, right? Up here with stairs, like so, if I can place them down properly. There we go. So we're essentially mirroring that, and then we're also going up here with one sticking out as well. And I think that seems about right. But then what's going to be kind of interesting about this is up here we're going to put another stair. If that's going to be kind of hard to place and get in there, but that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to put another stair sticking towards the outside up there. And then we'll actually bring slabs across like this, right? So we'll have what we're doing by doing this, what we're creating is a double. Oh, dang it. What we're doing is creating this like double line that kind of goes around like that, right? Like right up against the pillars, like so. stair, slab, slab, upside down. And we're just basically going to do that all the way around the base, or around the upper part. Okay? So we're going to have this thing that goes around like that. Let me get that done. All right, I am back, and I'm just doing some more work on the roof. I did go ahead and get the rest of those slabs in place, creating this nice little effect. And then I went ahead and I took black terracotta and filled that in around this edge. And it looks pretty bad from the inside. Don't worry. I know. It's okay. I also added a red nether brick block right here. And the reason is that when you stand back, we get a little bit of like a color pop, right? Like right in here. A little bit of that red mixed in with the black and the gray. And I'm thinking, since we're going to have 2 temples in Regnum, this being one and one over on the other side of the forum, I think this one will be to the Regnum god of war, whoever that is, and I think black and rock, or black and red, is a suitable color. I think that's a good color choice for the Temple of the God of War. Now, I don't have a name for the name of whatever god this is. I don't want to use any gods, goddesses, anything like that from any real-world historical or real religions. I'd prefer to come up with our own name for this deity. So if you have any suggestions for what we should call the Regnum God of War, please feel free to chime in. I'd love to get some ideas. Right now I'm leaning towards something like Aggressus or something like that. I think that sounds kind of God of War-like. But what I'm doing now is I'm working on the roof itself. We've got this nice kind of simple half-slab slope coming up to a point, and then we're alternating back and forth between the polished granite, or the dark stone brick, and then the regular stone brick, mostly because regular stone brick comes in slabs and granite doesn't. But what this is going to do is give us a darker half-slab roof. It actually looks okay. Like, it doesn't look super bad. I tried it with just the regular stone brick slabs, and I didn't like it. But I think when you alternate it back and forth like this, it actually works out all right. It blends together because they're very similar in texture. Like, it just kind of looks like the shadows, the lighting is kind of messing with you a little bit, and you kind of subconsciously think that it's all one texture, if that makes sense. See what I mean? Like, from over here, that really doesn't look bad. I think it looks fine. And now we've got that in, so now what we need to do is kind of detail these areas, right? Because part of the reason that we laid this out the way that we did is so we can go in here and add different layers of depth and detail. And this staircase that I built is going to have to be moved to somewhere else. Let's say right here. We'll just do one of those. And holy cow, it is pouring rain outside my house right now. I can hear it. Hopefully you guys can't hear that in the recording. I don't think it's loud enough, but if you hear a little bit of like rain sound in the background, that's what's going on. The flood is happening, my friends. No, it's all good. Let's see, we'll do that. I want to mix in some of these textures again. So we'll kind of maybe do that. We'll maybe put cement there and here, and then right here, I'm going to put another red nether brick. Okay? So what it's going to look like from the front is that. And that, I think, looks pretty good. It's a good start, but it needs a little something. Specifically, I don't like the way that red nether brick just kind of is flush with the wall. I don't think it's super bad, but it could be a lot better. So what we're going to do, I need a little bit of a builder's platform here. There we go. We're going to do that with some slabs. And then we'll put a stair here and here, I think. Okay, that seems pretty good. And then I would love, oh man, can I? Nope, that's gonna face the wrong way. I'd like to get an upside down stair right there. I think I'm gonna have to do something like that to do it. I don't think I can place it without breaking this slab right here, which is fine. There we go. So we do that, and then maybe here and here we put a slab as well. And let's take a look and see what that looks like from a distance. Let's just see. How we doing? How we doing? Yeah! That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. All right, let me take a bit of a nap since it's starting to get late. Let me replicate that on the other side, and then I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So that's taken care of on all sides, and I think that is good. So now what we're going to do is work on the inside a little bit, because obviously the inside doesn't look so great. I'm actually really happy with the outside. I think the outside of the temple is pretty much complete, other than maybe a little bit of landscaping and stuff. But the inside, not so much. So anywhere where there is a pillar, we're going to add a stair. Right? Just like so. Oh, and right there as well. Okay. And then anywhere where we just put a stair, directly above that, I'm going to put a full block. Just like so. Now our goal here is to cover up this, because this isn't good. This is not a good look right here. So what I'm thinking we're going to do, well, although another option, this is something I hadn't considered, we could potentially, I don't know. I was thinking, I mean, we could potentially do something like that and let that show, but I don't think I really like that too much. So what we're gonna do, yeah, I don't like that. So what we'll do instead, and what I was originally planning to do, is we're basically just gonna wrap stairs around this edge and fill in all of these gaps, which will cover up the highlight blocks that we used over on the other side. Stairs, please. I don't need many, just a couple. There we go. So that gives us an actual sort of roof shape. Now, this, yeah, this isn't great. We'll need to do some stuff up here as well, but we can do that. That's okay. We'll be fine. Let's see. Well, we should probably handle that before we do anything else. So I'm thinking what I want is kind of like, I wanted this part to be covered up, but then I'm thinking we want like, I guess what you would call cross beams, right? We're going to make some cross beams out of nether brick. So let's just grab a few different materials here and let's see if we can kind of work something out. Maybe we go here. There, and then up here, it probably would come to a slab, like so, and then we would, what I will ultimately end up doing, oh, nope, is up at the very top. We would probably just fill that in with the granite, right? Slab. How's that look? That's not super bad. And then here, we'd probably fill those in with the granite as well, just so it looks like those support beams are holding everything up. I need a bit more polished granite. Like so. There we go. Let's just try that along here. What do we think? Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I can. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, let me get working on this, and I'll come back to you momentarily. Okay, so I think that looks relatively good. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not, however, happy with this part right here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these nether brick slabs, if I can. There we go. And we're going to bring those up like this. There we go. To create another cross section up at the very top like that. Now we need to figure out what we're going to do with this and with this. And that's maybe a little easier said than done. Let's just kind of give ourselves a little bit of like a staircase here. You know what? Let's go out and out. There we go. That way we can move freely back and forth. Maybe what we'll end up doing. I really hate to have a transition like that, though. That's going to look terrible. I think we may have to use... Yeah, maybe what we could do is stairs like that. Maybe here and here we do stairs as well. With a stair here, here, and a slab there? And here maybe? How would that look? Would that look really bad? I don't think so. I think that actually looks all right. Especially if we do that. Yeah, I think that's good. That'll do. Okay, so then we need to replicate that on the other side, which will probably be a little bit easier this time around since we just can peek over and see what we did. So let's go block, 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 because we need to be able to place down those stairs. So we said, let's see, a stair, a stair, a slab, a slab, a stair there, a stair here. Oh, and we changed these ones out for stairs as well, didn't we? And of course, I am one stair short of what I need. Isn't that how it always goes? There we go. That's all right. So then we need a stair right here as well, and then a slab and a slab. Okay. Does that look good from this side? It looks good enough. It looks good enough. All right, awesome. So now I got some other stuff that I need to do here, and I need to actually grab the resources for it because I don't have them right now. Let me take a nap. Let me get my resources together, and then I'll be right back. All right, guys, I am back. So we've got that all taken care of. The inside is mostly done. However, we need a little bit of lighting in here, and I thought I have an idea for something that I think is very thematic and will also look really good. So basically, lining up with each of these pillars and one block of separation, we're going to put down nether brick like that, and then I'm going to grab a flint and steel, and we'll light them all as little kind of like, basically like little braziers, right? And keep in mind, before you try to do this in your own world, I play in kingdoms with fire spread turned off. So, don't go lighting fires if you have flammable things around unless you have fire spread turned off. I have it turned off because I think it allows us to do cool building things like this, and for that matter, normally fire spread you wouldn't even be able to put it on nether brick and keep it burning forever. But we'll do something like that, okay? Then, I'm thinking right up here, we're gonna go, maybe about here-ish. And then we'll say, Right here? Yeah, sure, right there. We'll make a little thing like that. We'll put upside down stairs. Like so. And here as well. And like that, right? And this is basically going to be like our little altar. So this is where they would come and actually worship whatever we decide to name this deity. The fact that that is the whole armor stand. Armor stands can be so finicky to place. Like, you need to basically make sure you're lined up. See what I mean? Now he's looking off in that direction. I don't want him looking in a direction. I want him to be, you know what I could do? Where's my, I want it to be at 0. There we go. No, and now he's completely looking off in the I don't know how to place this guy in such a way that it's exactly straight. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. You know what? He can be looking off to the side a little bit. I guess it's okay. It's fine. Maybe he's looking off into the distance or something. I don't know. But we'll have a couple of upside down stairs here and here. I'm going to put a sword there and a bow here, which we're going to rotate like so. And that is basically the altar area, right? So that looks good. And then we're actually going to take some carpets and bring them around like this with some red carpet in the middle. And then we suddenly have something that's pretty cool. Like, I like this. I think this is a nice look, and I think it looks really good. We could also do some other things, like I could make a couple more braziers right here for light by putting down stairs and lighting those on fire, right? Something like that. But I don't think I really like that too much. So we're just going to leave it the way it is. And there is plenty of light in here. Now, the reason I brought up the fire spread thing, normally I'm pretty sure this wool would burn. But fire spread, creativity. I see no reason to leave it on if it is going to hamper things that I could do, which would be cool building ideas. But I think this is pretty good. I think this temple is complete at this point. I think it's relatively simple and yet very effective, and I think it adds kind of a nice detail building. Fly, please. Thank you. A nice detail building to our area. And I think it looks all right from over there. Let's see what it looks like from up above. I'm assuming it'll look relatively okay. From up here. Yep. That looks good. The roof is a little different because it's not that red roof, but the red is supposed to represent kind of like shingles, like clay shingles. And I don't think they would use that for the temple, as, you know, history has shown. But, oh man, flying in at it from that angle looks so good. I actually really like this. This turned out really well. But anyway, guys, unfortunately, I am out of time for this episode. So, my friends, if you enjoyed... Oh, wait! JK! I almost forgot. Question of the day. Totally, it's a thing. It's a thing. See, I wrote the book, and then I almost forgot to read it. Anyway, the comment or question of the day is from Beast Gamer, and it says, Wells, can you please use the furniture mod so you can decorate better and more? So, I am wrapping this question up into not just that question, but also basically any question that says, Wells, can you please add X mod, whatever mod, to Kingdoms? You should add DecoCraft. You should add Carpenter's blocks. You should add Chisel. You should add pick a mod, any mod, with the exception of maybe Optifine, right? Which isn't available, or we would be using it. But I get the comment quite often saying, add this mod because it'll do cool building things. So, here is my reply to mods for Kingdoms, specifically for Kingdoms. you guys know I love me some modded Minecraft. All right, I do a lot of modded Minecraft. I think I have 3 modded Minecraft series running right now on the channel. But the thing is, this is a vanilla series, and having mods in here would defeat the purpose of having a vanilla survival series. If I add a mod, it's no longer Kingdoms, my vanilla survival series. Then it's Kingdoms, my slightly modded series. And this is specifically meant to be my single-player vanilla series, okay? So that is one aspect of why I will never add content-adding mods to Kingdoms. The only mod that I will ever use here is Optifine. Or maybe if Optifine someday goes away, whatever, some sort of performance enhance, some sort of performance booster I don't have an issue with, but anything that adds content or changes vanilla fundamentally, I'm not going to be adding to Kingdoms, because it would defeat the purpose of having a vanilla survival series. The other reason, actually, you know what? We should probably go put some of these resources away. The other reason that I will never add mods to Kingdoms is because then, whether or not I can continue to update the world to the latest snapshots and the latest versions of Minecraft, at that point, it's no longer up to me. At that point, if I want to say I add DecoCraft, right? That means that if I ever want to update the world ever again to a later version of Minecraft, I really need to hope and pray that Razzleberry Fox, the author of DecoCraft, updates DecoCraft to that version. That means I need the mod to update before I can update the world. That also means that I really can't play in snapshots anymore, because mods very, very rarely come out for snapshots, if ever. It's extremely rare that that'll happen. So I like being able to play in the latest snapshots, I like being able to update my world, and I like this being a single-player vanilla series. And if I start adding mods of any kind, I can no longer do that. And that means that it is that it's not going to happen. It's not an option for me, or at least not a realistic option. With that said, I do love me some modded Minecraft, and if you want to see me play around with things like furniture mods and other mods and things like that, by all means, I've got modded series for that. So, FTV Beyond is going on right now. Future's Edge is going on right now. I mean, I have modded series to play around with mods, and, if you like that sort of thing, by all means, if you're not already watching those, feel free to do so. But I will not be adding any mods other than perhaps Optifine to Kingdoms ever. That's just the way it is, as I have explained. So, anyway, that is going to do it for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. If you have a comment or a question, by all means, put it in the comments down below. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.